I repeat the request I made of you when I was on my way to Macedonia, that you stay in Ephesus to instruct certain people not to teach false doctrines, or to concern themselves with myths and endless genealogies which promote speculations rather than the plan of God that is to be received by faith. When I read that, what came to mind was the whole new age. It results in one just speculating, right? In one just making up their own beliefs. Like I could just make up whatever. So because it's not solid, it's not a solid teaching, right? It's basically like up for grabs. Take whatever works for you, and whatever doesn't work for you, just leave it there. Like that's what new age is teaching us. Whatever, if this works for you, like take it, and if it doesn't, just leave it. You don't need it. Like move on to, again, just so subjective, just so it, like, obviously that's why so many are lured in. And then I learned about God's plan. I learned about God's love. I learned about God's grace. I learned about God's mercy. The plan of God that is to be received by faith. So let's just talk about God's plan for us. God showed me how intentional He is with His creation. The first day He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. He took another day to create the sky. He took another day to create the land and the sea. He took another day to create the sun and the moon and the stars. He was so intentional. I'm sure God, in 1 second, He could have just said, boom, there's everything. But He took His time with His creations. And guess what? We are one of His creations, and not just humans as a whole, but me, Penny. I am one of His creations. I am a child of His. So I can no longer listen to lies of I have no purpose, because everything that God has made serves a purpose. Every single tree, every single plant, every single creature. I mean, and the metaphor of like all His creatures, everything that He creates, is just, it comes with this metaphor. It's not just, it serves a purpose, a physical purpose, and it also just serves a metaphorical purpose. The shepherd with his sheep, the light and the darkness, the mustard seed, the ant, like so many metaphors. God is so intentional, and everything He creates serves a purpose. So I serve a purpose. And the thing is, I might not know this purpose. It might not be clear to me yet, but I trust in God, and I trust in God's plan, because I know God has a plan for me. I know God has a purpose for me. I know He made me with a purpose, because that's just who He is. It's not that I'm special, or no, who God is, His character. If it didn't serve a purpose, then I mean, we wouldn't be talking about it. But because I am here, because you are here, then you have a purpose. I'm not saying I know God's plan for my life, but I am saying that I know God has a plan. I know that He hasn't forsaken me. I know that He hasn't abandoned me. I know that He loves me. I know that I am under God's grace. I know that I am a child of His. And because I am a child of His, because I am His creation, He has a plan for me that is to be received by faith. That this plan that God has for you is to be received by faith, as in trusting Him. And what does trusting Him look like? What does trusting Him and His word look like? What does faith look like? I think for me, I feel like it comes down to obedience, endurance, discipline, perseverance, like just not stopping. Like, at least for me, I can feel like I've stopped so many times and question and like, wait, hold up, wait, this wasn't supposed to happen. This was not supposed to happen. I need to keep reminding myself, God has a plan for my life. And I need to keep being obedient and persevering. discipline, like sitting here to make this video. The enemy wants to tell me, look, a bunch of people are doing the same thing you are doing, like you're not, like you don't even need to get on here because like everyone's doing what you're doing, so you just need to like, there's already too much people on here, like, and like, who do you think you are and all this, and like you're not qualified enough, and like all of that chatter, because it's so loud, isn't it? It's so loud, and that's just how you know that that's not the voice that you should be listening to, when it's so loud like that, so like it's like, wait, hold it. Don't be doing that at me, no. um but God has told me I need to be on here, you need to be on here, and I'm like, but I'm not qualified, because like, I'm not qualified because I was dabbling in the new age, and because of every single thing that I would find, I'm like, this is the way, right? And I'd be so ecstatic about it. And then I'd be sharing it with everybody, with loved ones on YouTube, I'd be sharing it. And so I'm like, maybe God, like, this is just another thing. This is just another thing that I'm like, I found the way and I'm going to be talking about it. And then months later, I'm going to be like, sorry, guys, like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, but God has been telling me, like, that's not what I said. Again, it's that chattering. It's that, blah, 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 blah. When God just said, go and film. Like, that's it. Just go and film. What am I go and film? Like, you don't like, it's that gentleness, right? The gentleness and the love and the just go film. That's just, God is so intentional.